Hello everyone, my name is Marissa. Welcome to my divination channel. As always, I'm super excited to be here sharing space with you and to be entrusted with these aspects of your guys' journey and this incarnation in particular. So before we get into the September energies, I just wanted to say a quick thank you and shout out to subscriber and now friend Adrian, who sent me money for my birthday. And I finally felt okay about splurging on a new deck for myself. And this is one that I've been wanting for a while. So I'm really excited to honor September birthdays, I guess. And my own birthday being in September, I wanted to break this deck in with these readings in particular. So that's all I wanted to say. We are diving into 3 aspects today within the reading. We'll be diving into the overall theme of September for you guys, your position of strength that you're going into the month with, as well as your opportunity for growth. All right, so 3 groups to choose from today. Over here to the left is group number 1. In the center, we have group number 2, and all the way to the right is group number 3. And whenever you guys are feeling ready, we're going to hop right into these readings. Your reading for September energies. So there are 3 aspects we're diving into today. We are going to tune into the overall theme for the month of September, your position of strength or your light aspect, and also your opportunity for growth / your shadow aspect, the month of September. So diving straight into your theme for this month, group number 1, I feel like this month, what's being highlighted here is the desire to be of service in a more noticeable way. Okay, a desire to initiate something or to start something new. While I don't feel like you are newly on your path in terms of like these types of pursuits, in terms of your spiritual journey, in terms of, you know, maybe even trying out things where you're offering services to the planet. While I don't feel like you're completely new here, and in some way, I do feel like this is either a new pursuit or a new offering or a new direction, or there's something about the month of September that everything you've been doing up to this point in time, it's like it's highlighted by a sense of newness, okay, and a sense of responsibility and a sense of, you know, the energy of Virgo is all about utilizing your natural gifts and talents in a way that serves the collective, okay? Virgo is all about service. And with this Saturnian energy too, this is about creating structure around these things that you're wanting to give to the collective. And so maybe in some way it's like you have had this vision or this dream of working with people, on a large level or a large scale, or letting this be your full time. You know, I'm getting a lot of devotional type of energy with all the 6s coming through, you know, the number of being the humanitarian, okay, really putting the collective at the forefront of what it is that fuels you and what moves you forward is what you're giving to the planet and how you feel like your expression is in some way helping to uplift those around you. Okay, and so I feel like the overall theme has to do in some way around this aspect of creating structure and becoming much more practical in what it is that you're offering. Because with this Capricorn energy, I do feel like this has potential, or this is part of your dream or part of what you're exploring is like, how do I make this be the thing that sustains me full time? Okay, but with both Virgo and Capricorn, there's a lot here about, and there's so much earth energy in general. Okay, so maybe you guys have a lot of earth in your chart. It doesn't really matter, but the month, what you're going to be dealing with, right? You're dealing with a lot of the slow and steady kind of practical details of launching a business or of offering things where you're taking in more clients, okay? Or something to where what it is that you're gifting is reaching more people somehow. Or it's like taking the next step. It's leveling up in terms of how it's been able to sustain you or how it's been sustaining you up to this point in time. Like I'm sensing a level up in whatever it is that you have been offering. And that's kind of the highlight, and, you know, achieving a new level of success and really giving yourself permission to immerse yourself in this kind of new direction and going into it with a beginner's mind. because I am seeing that you do have, within your position of strength, you have a lot of positive momentum moving you forward. I feel like you're coming into the month of September knowing that you are gifted in some way, and having already received good feedback from other people about what it is that you're offering, and already having, kind of done the work of overturning your doubt in terms of knowing the value that you bring to the table. I feel like to some degree, you guys know the type of value that you bring to the table. And that is a huge strength within this chart altogether, and within the energies that you're going into September with, because it'll be less likely that you are going to sacrifice any part of that value or sacrifice any part of that integrity as you are, maybe gaining more recognition, and as more people are hearing about you and acknowledging your work and acknowledging your unique perspective to whatever your field is. Okay, and it's interesting we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, because I feel like it's like, why is that energy a positive? And I feel like it's because you're not taking your cues from the people that you're serving. More so, I feel like you have been really devout and dedicated to staying true to your own path and not sacrificing your integrity for fame or for numbers or for following or any of that. But you've really been wanting to remain true to your soul's path and doing things for the right reasons, which is what Virgo is all about, And sometimes it can even become like to a fault for these, with all this earth energy I'm picking up. Sometimes it can come to a fault. We can get so stubborn and so fixed on our idea of how things should be or how we want things to be, that it leaves little wiggle room for, some minor adjustments that is not totally sacrificing our integrity. It's not even really sacrificing the root of our message, but just maybe a different way of doing things, But I am saying that is actually your strength going into the month of September, is that you're really focused on what type of service you want to bring to people, how you want to leave people feeling. And so I feel like, it's one of those things where you're going to the fabric of the creator that kind of, oversees everyone's individual plans. And so, you're kind of bypassing the carnal minds of everyone and going straight to the source to figure out, okay, what's the best way to do this and how do I go about this? And, not caring so much about how other people are doing it, and not caring so much about, what people feel like you should or should not be investing your time, money, energy, attention towards. And you're really just like, all right, I'm just like, you're so focused is what I'm feeling. You're so focused and determined, but also very practical as well. Like, this is becoming less of a dream, and understanding that sometimes things move slower on planet Earth, but also leaving a little bit of wiggle room for magic, leaving a little wiggle room to be surprised along the way. So really good, strong points moving into the month of September. And I feel like the biggest challenge here is staying connected to your heart space and not becoming becoming overly practical. All right. And I feel like too, it's like maintaining the type of authority that you naturally speak to, and the level and the degrees of authenticity that you bring through when you work with people. I feel like maintaining that level while you're working with them. And so this is interesting, because it's like coming through, like it's just coming out, right? I haven't really had time to digest it myself, this message that is coming through from the guides. But I feel like this is really saying that your challenge is, or will be, in keeping a high bar for other people while and not succumbing to the subtle ways that people can be victims. And I kind of don't really care how that sounds. It's going to sound however it sounds, right? Yeah, ooh, look at all this 10. We have a lot of 10s. We have a lot of 6s coming through. So I feel like, yeah, you have a couple 10s here too. I feel like it's like understanding and seeing that those two things can exist, that you can create a high level program or a high level service and offering, and actually have standards in terms of the people that you're working with. And yeah, I feel like it's not getting so lost in the narratives. It's being able to tell it straight, not closing your heart. But it's like, I feel like sometimes with the type of energy I'm seeing, this Cancerian energy, and even with Virgo, maybe not necessarily Virgo, but mainly this kind of energy is indicating to me that it might be hard for you to think that you are the reason someone feels bad about themselves. And I feel like there's a difference between being critical of someone's character and then also just being able to sense where someone has energetic leakages and giving helpful, valuable advice in how to, repair those leakages. So something like that. Like, I feel like it's not catering to people's places where they're still believing in disempowered ways of existing, and I feel like it's telling it straight and knowing that those two things can coexist, that it is actually a very loving thing to do. Not that you're like going out and laying trips on people, but it's actually a very loving thing to do, especially in this field, whatever field it is that you are going into. I feel like it might have something to do with like coaching or something similar, or like something that has to do with like therapy even, or, where you're working with other people to help restore this sense of wholeness and to be more empowered in their lives and to be like truly happy and fulfilled. And the ways that we do that is when we're coming from empowered places and when we're not seeing through the lens of a victim, which is, woe is me, these things happen, woe is me, versus, okay, how are we going to take this and become better? Not letting the outside dictate how we feel inside. If something has the potential to create sadness in your field or to create distress or whatever, while there are certain things that are natural emotions to experience, if something can keep you in that state, that's not an empowered place to live from. And so I feel like you're kind of learning how to give yourself permission to show up as that authority figure that your close friends know you as, and that you deep down know that you're here to be, the way that you see and the way that the place that you're coming from is, I feel like, is a good place. Like your heart's in the right place. And so I feel like a challenge is, maintaining that sense of authority and what it is that you have to offer, and not like diluting any part of your message or any part of what it is that you're wanting to offer to the world to appease or accommodate other people's ways of existing that they say they want out of, but maybe their behavior and their actions and their belief systems are contradictory to that. And so it's creating a high level and giving yourself permission to operate from that high level, that high standard, without worrying about what other people are saying about it and like, oh, what does pile number one think that they are? You're someone who's taken time to think for yourself, is what I'm getting, and to really make this life something that you're proud of, and not willing to succumb to the template reality that a lot of people are okay subscribing to. And there's this sense of not giving up that you're coming in with, and there's also this sense of, maintaining that equanimity within yourself and knowing your heart's in the right place when you are working with people at the level and the degree that I feel like you're going to be working with people. And the challenge too might just be, accepting money or learning how to price things, or, very practical things. How do I price this? And, what type of container do I create? Am I working one-on-one with people? Am I working collectively with people? These are all things that are going to be addressed that seem like challenges, but when you come back to your why and you come back to, why it is that you're doing this, why you're drawn in this direction, I feel like those things will kind of just take care of themselves. and you'll figure it out along the way. So not getting caught up in those practical details. There's a lot of practicality here, but don't let it become to a fault to where, you're losing sight of the intention of what you're doing this for. Yes, in this day and age, there are certain rules that seem very hard to get around. Rules to this game that some of us might actually not like playing, but it's the game that we have found ourselves in. It's the game that we're born into in this incarnation. And so learning how to work within all of these levels, I feel like, is kind of a challenge for you, or might seem challenging, poses a challenge, but I am seeing that kind of built into this challenge. It's just deepening you into your intuition, okay, deepening you into your heart space, and knowing that the practicality will take care of itself as you just continue to nurture that divine spark. Even Albert Einstein said that in our modern culture, the gift is intuition. The gift is intuition, the servant is logic. But in modern culture, we've put the servant above the gift, okay? And so you're kind of seeing this challenge. I feel like this opportunity for growth is really that you'll see how, when you're following your intuition, those next practical steps, naturally, you will be guided to take them. And coming back to your why over and over again is really important, because for me, it's the same message that my guides have given me the past couple weeks. That makes making decisions easy. That makes making investments easy. Maybe you might be called to invest in some sort of like certification program, for example, investing in something that is like funding this vision, or that is like an overarching aspect of what it is that you feel like you're going to be offering to this community that you're building, or this community that might already be being built. You might already have some degree of like clients or a following or something to where, your heart is already felt and people are already receiving the nutrients from what it is that you're gifting to the planet at this time. And so it's allowing yourself to be guided by intuition and knowing that the practicality will take care of itself. You'll know what direction to go the more that you're like, okay, what's my why? Why am I doing this? And then the steps will kind of make more sense as you go. And it's just like you're just doing the next most obvious thing, but not jumping to that conclusion first, right? But giving yourself space and time, like giving structure to your flow time, even giving structure to allowing, the divine to speak to you and to show you kind of how to direct your wand. So lots of practicality, lots of moving forward, a lot of next steps happening, and like really exciting. I feel like something new is bubbling to the surface, and whatever it is that you're gifting or you're thinking about offering or that you're launching or that you're building towards, I do see longevity in this, and it does seem like it has the potential to change many lives and to bring abundance, not just financially, but also emotionally and spiritually, not just to you, but to other people too, which I feel like is really what you guys feel like you're here for. So pile number 1, I'm going to leave this reading here for now. Thank you for joining me today. And if this video resonated, please give this video a thumbs up down below. If this was the group that you chose today, let's leave a Saturn down in the comment section if there's nothing else you want to share. And I do hope to see you again soon. Much love. What's up, group number 2? Welcome to your reading all about September energy for you. Just so you know, there's 3 aspects we're diving into. We have the overall theme for this month. We have your position of strength that you're leading into September with, as well as an opportunity for growth. Okay, so maybe a little bit of a challenging aspect that you're dealing with this month. So this month will be highlighted, group number 2, with a sense of really stepping up your sense of authority. And this is a sense of authority that is born not from the mind of man. Okay, this is taking your guidance, and like this is about really embodying and living from a degree of integrity that I feel like might even surprise you the month of September. I feel like you're really starting to take seriously, and this is what I feel like you're going into the month with, but it seems like you're starting to take even more seriously the type of person that you want to be. and the type of role model in particular, this is all about your relationships to authority figures, and just how, your parents did things and teachers did things, and whether or not you felt like that was good enough. Okay. And who are we to say from the outside looking in? But it's all just feedback. How you felt about it, what we feel about other people and how they showed up, is all just feedback, pointing us in the direction of how we are designed, by our soul blueprint, our divine blueprint, how that divine blueprint was designed and how we are meant to show up. And so I feel like the month of September, you are showing up more and more as a very intuitive but powerful figure of authority. I mean, even in your light aspect, we do have the High Priestess coming up, which is all about the moon and intuition. So I feel like if there's any question, I don't think you would have any question, but I just want to reiterate the degree of integrity and authenticity and how genuine you are when it comes to sourcing your own belief systems. Because the more that you look around, the more that it really does seem that people, I feel like, forget that all of the structures and the ways man is living was something that was decided upon by another man, by another human. And a lot of the time not no smarter than us. And a lot of the time having their own hidden ambitions. Okay, so because the moon can also represent hidden aspects of life, I feel like this is you just doing your best to show up in ways that other people, A, probably won't understand because it's probably much different than how many people are operating. And B, I feel like I forgot what A was already. Or, what A and B, but I just feel like the degree to which you are operating from in terms of sourcing your own sense of values and morals and the type of leader you want to be. This is something that is I feel like goes beyond just the month of September, and this is just deepening you into your soul's blueprint and what it is that you're here for. Okay, so I feel like you deeply understand that, we all are born into a game that we're born into, that we didn't even get a chance to decide whether or not we wanted to play it. And so I feel like you just, with this perception card and authority being highlighted for the theme of your reading, I feel like you guys are extremely multifaceted and can see many layers and levels of complexity in terms of the system that we're all born into, and in terms of the type of leader that you want to be and the type of change that you want to initiate on this planet. And this positive aspect, there's something about your day-to-day activities, or there's something about the way that you, like, this is going to be a very natural transition. And I feel like there's something that's ending that you're okay with ending because you realize you're ready for the next level. You realize you're ready and you've been prepared for this next step in terms of leadership, in terms of showing up for the world. And so there's something I feel like that is coming to an end that you've been doing, that you've been, providing to your community thus far, or just like different projects you might already have been engaging with. And I feel like you're just not fighting the flow of your destiny anymore. And I feel like you've been intuiting an ending in this area, whether it's like how you socialize, it could be so many different things depending on the individual, but something that you've already been intuiting, pile number 2, coming to an end that has to do with like people and where you're spending time, energy, etc. Could be leisurely time, could have to do with work in general, but something in your environment is ending and changing. And it's something you've been intuiting for a while, but you realize and you can feel that it just is just a layer of distraction that you don't have time for. Because the sense of authority and just really just feeling bold and owning this level, that you're embodying, really owning and embracing this new degree. I feel like even for yourself, like, I feel like you can even feel that you're being turned up, that your degrees of, intuition are being turned up, just like the things that you're guided to speak on and, talk about to other people, so many other people already see you as this. It's being amplified. Not that it matters what other people think, you know? I feel like you could really care less about that. But I feel like you're so passionate about the things that feel right to you, and the way that man has kind of, you know, up to this point in time, just been domineering and acquiring and, you know, excessively and unnaturally been leading us to this point, or has led us to this point where, you know, shit is crumbling, you know, because you can only live out of tune with the laws of nature, which are, you know, born from the divine laws and universal laws. You can only be out of harmony with that for so long before, you know, the inevitable happens. And so I feel like there is a worldly kind of authority that you are starting to exude, and a worldly kind of wisdom that you are conveying, and a worldly type of concern, like really here for the people that you're going in with. Your heart's in the right place, and you have a very true connection to your higher self. You have a very true connection to the mind of God. You know, as true as you can, as true as you've ever had. And so the way you work with people is going to change. And I feel like there will be an ending that is kind of sudden, that you've been intuiting. It's not too much of a surprise, and it rolls off your shoulder. Because I feel like intuitively too, you knew it was kind of like getting in the way of, you know, you're just like, if it doesn't add to what I feel like I'm here for, I don't care if it goes, you know, bye. And I feel like part of your challenge in the month of September might even be in, like, I feel like you have BDE, and you have always felt that, the big destiny energy. But I feel like the degree of impact that you make is something that might surprise you. So whatever it is you've been doing, I feel like that really feels like it's in alignment. There's a go ahead. You're going into this is like, keep doing what you're doing. Okay, keep going down the path of following those things that feel right to you, but also, you know, allowing those things that are kind of distractions to fall away. But there is something here about choice. There is something here about the reach of your message. There is something here about how bright you shine, and just the fears and who can I trust, and, you know, that kind of thing coming up. But I feel like the degree of authority you're operating from, divine authority you're operating from, it creates a filter. You don't have to even worry about it. It's like Thor's hammer will strike down, you know, all of those people that have bad intentions, or don't have the purest of intentions, or, you know, those people that, yeah, I feel like that might not want to see you succeed, but it doesn't even matter. The level that you're operating on, it, like those low level types of, you know, those low level types of projections from other people can't even come close to you. They can't come close to you. I feel like there's something about a new direction in the month of September, or starting off anew, or maybe this is something that you've already invested in, or a new direction you've already solidified yourself in. And so it might be challenging of seeing how it's all going to work together, or like how it's all going to fall together, or how it's all going to work out in the grand scheme of things, but it will. And so I feel like, if anything, it might come quicker than you have expected. While I don't think this is a group of overnight success, I feel like what I mean by that is, I feel like you guys have been on your path for some time. So whatever comes in suddenly for you is a result of many years of, you know, working and doing your best to follow, you know, your inner voice, and putting one foot in front of the other. So I feel like, if anything, the biggest challenge here is in not allowing your energy to be drained in the direction of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I feel like the biggest challenge here too might be just, I'm hearing something about people from the past, you know, close relatives or family friends or something. Like, I don't know, I think it could be hard for some people to see the type of glow up that you're going through. it could be challenging, and it's not even them. It's not their highest self, when people are threatened by us stepping into a greater version of ourselves, or, it's more of their own soul's yearning to be in a position of being as confident as you're coming across, especially the month of September. And I don't even say coming across as if it's not true. Like, you guys are genuinely feeling like, I am the bee's motherfucking knees, and I go to the Most High for my direction only. And yeah, I feel like that's the message that the world really does need. And in your own way, you're conveying this, but there is a big sense of like, you're stepping it up in terms of your authority, in terms of your impact. You're seen, you will be seen more and more. And I feel like maybe in September, things just really pop off for you in a way that you just always deep down knew was meant to happen, but like something's going to go viral or something kind of thing, something like, I'm getting the sense with the alignment with the Magician and the Star that the stars are aligning, and there's going to be a very powerful signifying event that kind of shows you, okay, we're on this, we're doing this, this is it. Like, this is all I have to do is keep tuning in and following that, no matter that, the moon, the path of the moon is very elusive. It only shows you the next step, but it could make so many, turns along the way of this grand path that is your own road less traveled, as you're making your way to another summit, and then to another summit, and then to another summit, but enjoying the journey along the way, and not waiting for the other shoe to drop, and not taking big things, small things, anything to mean anything, and ultimately knowing that when you are doing your best to surrender your will to that of the divine plan, things will work out. All right. It's only when the spirit becomes lost in things like religion. What happens when the spirit is not alive? It just becomes talk. And that's when structures start to decompose. We see that in religion. We see that as a society. When laws are given and bestowed where the spirit of God or the spirit of, all creation is not recognized, when it's not alive in that decision-making process, things do not prosper. Okay, that is the source that gives things life. The only reason nature prospers is because we had the mother and then we had the father, which is the spirit. They merge, and so together it's this co-creation. So anything that doesn't have those two aspects is not going to thrive. You need the mother, you need the father, that kind, And so I feel like the month of September, you're really seeing the magic behind this. And I'm excited for you guys because it really does feel like an initiation into a new paradigm in terms of the level you've already been operating at, and just like your unfuck with ability, and you're really solid in why you are doing things. You're really solid in your values. You're really solid. You're getting divine downloads all month about, why you are guided in certain directions, because when people will inevitably ask you, that it will teach them so much. It will teach them so much about, oh, like, I didn't think of it that way, or, oh, like, I didn't ever think about why I am living the life I am, or why I am investing in the pathways that I am, or, because a lot of people, it's just mechanics and it's just what they've been told to do. Like, if you can, even in the most like subtle ways, we're just perpetuating this insanity and these complexities that don't have to be there. Because again, so many people have lost that spirit of the divine in their decision-making process. So things do not flourish, and people are unhappy, and, all of these psychosocial disharmonies are enhanced and exacerbated because the spirit of the divine has been lost. Month of September, you are the living, breathing vessel of the divine. You are the spirit of divine. You are, the aspect of nature with your physical body, and then you are spirit. You are like literally living out these universal and natural laws. And I feel like really the only thing is like how much you're allowing yourself to enjoy it, and understanding with deep conviction that you are where you're meant to be. And there's something here about silence. There's something here about not sharing, oversharing. There's something here about cultivating that kind of authority. more and more I'm starting to see that people that talk so much, like it kind of exudes this degree of like insecurity in a way. And sometimes when I get nervous, I do the same thing. I'm not, judging anyone. But it's interesting because I'm really guided to this picture right now. I just found a book that I've had since I was a girl. I was always drawn to the Native American culture. And in one of the pages I read, they talked about someone that is grieving, or when chiefs would meet up, or whenever there was a special event, that they were never quick. The Native American people were never quick to jump into conversation or to just start talking. And that silence communicated a degree of equanimity and power and poise much greater than someone who's like essentially kind of makes themselves to be a fool by sharing too much. Okay, and I've definitely been on that side, and I'm definitely being shown in my own way the similar message that's coming through of, the wisdom that is conveyed through silence and stillness. And this is what's going to help cultivate the strength that you have moving into September. Not sharing all the knowledge you have because you want people to perceive you in a certain way, right? But understanding, some truly in this day and age, I feel like silence is the biggest powerhouse we have available to us. And it's no surprise you have such a divine connection and such an intuitive and seamless connection to your intuition, because I feel like this is a truth and a gift that you came in this lifetime with access to. Okay, that old soul hermity type of energy and, desire to be of service. But this is a really exciting month, okay? And you might feel like a little bit challenged in terms of what direction do I go from here? I feel this calling, I feel this pull, like I've never felt so like in my own framework, within my own context of like what I'm here to do, and where do I go from here? Okay, but coming back to that why is going to help steer you. That's your North Star, that why. Okay, what's important to you? Why would you not do something? When you know your why, you can kind of see if it's your carnal mind, your fear-based mind, kind of trying to influence you. Oh, we don't have the money. Oh, we don't have the time, right? Versus if it's your higher intuitive mind. And so you're going to really need that, going into this, whatever this new direction is, that is kind of inevitable due to this amount of authoritative grace that you are embodying. Spirit's like, we're stepping you up, okay? Whether you like it or not. So pile number 2, this was so beautiful. If this was your pile, go ahead and leave a moon down below. With all of this very intuitive, perceptive energy you guys are going into September with. And give this video a thumbs up, and I do hope to see you on my channel again soon. Much love. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. All about September energies and what you can expect. So we have 3 aspects we are addressing today. The first aspect is the overall theme for this month. We have your position of strength entering the month of September, and then what challenge or opportunity for growth that you will be addressing in the month of September. So I feel like the overall theme has to do with your relationship to love and being much more wise in how you are selecting your partners. And being pickier, honestly, and giving yourself permission to be straightforward with how you feel about things and how you truly deep down see someone, and to not kind of leave this meandering energy kind of open, like being very straightforward, separating the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, being very straightforward with how you see a situation, and not sacrificing those things that deep down are things that are non-negotiables for you. I feel like across the board, this is addressing your love relationships, whether it's romantic love, platonic love, friendship, family, that kind of thing. I do feel like romance might be something that is highlighted, and just people that are interested in you. I feel like you're not short of suitors or people that are interested in you, whether they're coming forward or not. I would be surprised if you don't have at least one person coming forward, if not 4, between 1 and 4 for you guys, pile number 3. So your position of strength has to do with how you carry yourself. Your position of strength is in what you expect other people, like how you deep down want your partner to be. And this is not even on a superficial level. I feel like you expect them to kind of carry themselves in a certain way. Like you expect their external to kind of be geared in a similar way that yours is, you know? And I feel like internally also, like there's a lot of check boxes that exist in terms of giving your heart to someone. Maybe on a more romantic level than it does on a purely platonic level. But I feel like this is highlighted around love and romance in particular, this reading. And I feel like you're going into the month of September really knowing your value, really knowing what you bring to the table, what you have to offer. And I feel like you're also very aware of just the fleeting nature of desire and the fleeting nature of those kind of passionate, warm, you know, like sexual kind of desires. And I feel like you kind of understand, you've kind of developed a sobriety around the things that start off hot and fiery and passionate, kind of have the tendency of ending that way as well. So I feel like you're going into the month of September and, you know, this new era of just, you know, getting out there, meeting new people. If this is relevant for you, this is definitely not your pile if this up to this point in time has not resonated, or if you're like not dating, or you're not at the very least single, you know, or if your container doesn't offer that, you know, I know some people have open dynamics or polyamorous dynamics, that type of thing. So yeah, I feel like you're just you're very mature in your approach to relationships these days. And in September, you're really getting the opportunity to see how much you've matured and how far that you've come. And this might even be saying that, you know, something you have on your side is you can quickly tell the direction that something is going to go, and you can kind of gauge and tell where someone is operating at, and if that is even close to being at your level. And we're not even at a point to where we feel bad about saying that, because you guys do operate, you know, with a certain level of purity and integrity. And yeah, none of us is perfect. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm not saying Pal 3 is so perfect and flawless. None of us are. But I feel like you just really know you're not here to fuck around, and you really know what you bring to the table. And I feel like maybe in the past, you might have gotten lost in desires and fantasies that kind of fizzled out very quickly. And so that's something that's on your side now. The wisdom, you know, Athena is all about wisdom. You know, wisdom, you're taking the wisdom that you learned from those past catastrophes, and it's on your side. You know, those lessons did not leave you bitter, but they left you better, as lessons should. And so I feel like the challenging part for you, pile number 3, is conveying to people to the level that they can receive why I just thought they aren't good enough for you. That's just what came in, but I'm sure that's not what Spirit meant, right? Spirit, that's not what you meant. But just why it just wouldn't work, you know? Why I feel like it's becoming this is an opportunity for growth, because you will just become much more adept at being able to express these things from a level that conveys it's not personal, from a level that conveys, you know, I'm not here to just waste time. I'm not here to just date around, you know. Something about this relationship has to make sense on different levels, you know, and it's not just this casual floozy doozy kind of thing. Some degree of love, a great degree of love, I feel like needs to be present, but also I feel like it's someone that also has to be purpose-driven like you in some sort of way. And so you're getting better at identifying those people that are kind of in alignment with that purpose-driven direction, that are putting their purpose and aspiring towards those higher ideals, those divine ideals, above their more carnal way of existing, which with all this fire, you know, the jealousy, the passion, the envy, you know, I'm not saying passion is negative, but when we're making our decisions from that passionate state, that fleeting state, you know, oftentimes I have found from experience, it ends in a way I already knew it was going to, and I knew better, you know? And so I feel like that's kind of what you guys have you guys have had a similar exploration of like, okay, I'm not, I've been here, done that. And so I feel like it's adding to your value for sure with the Empress coming up twice. It's adding to, how desirable you are, and you're not doing it for that reason, but it's just what's going to happen because you're not playing games. You're not here to play the games of man. You're here to play by the rules of universal law. And I feel like a challenge might just be in how do I illuminate these aspects for other people without them feeling like it's a rejection of like who they are. It just doesn't fit. It's just not in the blueprint of things. Okay. And then I feel like too, giving yourself permission to keep things light longer than other people might want to. Like keeping things very, I don't want to say service level, but when someone else is starting to press you, you can feel like they're pressing you to take their cup. You're not rushing to reach out. You're not rushing to accommodate someone else's paradigm. It's like, it's really living from the sense of regality and giving yourself permission, like, to really extend the amount of time that maybe you even get sexual with someone if you even go there. Oftentimes there have been so many dynamics where I'm like, this is not going to last, or like, I'm like, this is just like not right. And I bypassed the intuition to remain celibate within that dynamic. And there's not one time I ever did not, to some little degree, regretted it, and that's whatever. We're here to explore and learn, whatever. But it's like giving yourself permission to, maintain that sense of regality and to make your decisions from a place of higher awareness and not relying so much on those carnal impulses to kind of draw you about, because, they say it's those things that we fear the most and that we desire the most that can be our greatest downfall in this life. And so, in the month of September in particular, I feel like fear is not really an aspect. You might have some, things come up, but I'm not really seeing that as being a big aspect of this month for you. Fear and doubt, self-doubt, that kind of thing. If anything, it's these desirous things, those things that we really want in life that activate this sense of feeling desired and feeling lovely, feeling beautiful. And there's so much of this Venusian energy coming through that is very like highlighted throughout this entire reading. And so, it's giving yourself permission to be, kind of live up to the Virgoan archetype, which is kind of like RBF and, seems like they don't really have fun, but the thing about this archetype in particular is once someone has proven themselves to be able to operate at the degree of purity that this archetype is known for, that's when they open up. And that's when you get to, relish in all of the nectars and all of the sweets and all of the, upsides to being in relationship with this type of individual. Like Virgos are, kind of have this rep of being kind of like, at first when you get to know them, reserved, and then you get to know them and they're the weirdest fucking people you'll ever meet, that kind of thing. And so I feel like if anything, it's like the month of September, the challenge is that you might have a lot of cups and different people that feel good enough in some ways, but just don't meet those higher standards in terms of where your vision is leading you and not wasting time. All right. Like this is separating the wheat from the chaff is really getting rid of those things that aren't needed and not feeling bad about it. I don't know why we started feeling so bad about just like really honoring deep down what's right. And I had this I'm about to tell y'all because I've been waiting to tell somebody about this. Just kidding. I've told a few people because it was so funny. I was at the park with my daughter in Portland recently and some guy was just talking to me. I was talking to his whole family. And one of the guys was like really, putting off this energy of like trying to be showboaty. And I was like not into it. And all my entire energy, anyone with an iota, okay, I'm not going to be mean, but most people with any iota of social awareness, I feel like would understand or could put together that I didn't want to talk to that person in particular. And kept asking me those types of questions you get asked when someone's interested in you romantically, but he didn't know me. We had just met that day and I'm like, you're not interested in me romantically. You're attracted to the way I look or something, maybe my energy, but at the very least it's the way I look and nothing of substance. And this person kept talking. He's like, oh yeah, if you ever come down, you should take down my number if you ever come down to LA so I can show you around. And it felt so good. It felt so good, you guys, to say, I am not interested. And you know what dude said? He said, oh, you're not interested in going to LA. I was like, the audacity, like how, I'll try not to speak too loud because sometimes it can like get really choppy on my microphone, but the audacity, it's like, it couldn't even register. It was just so blunt. People are not used to that level of like, I just got to a point of like exhaustion that I was like, I'm not here to play games. Okay. That day, maybe it was that day, maybe it's been my whole life being a recovering people pleaser, but maybe that's an example that could help you and something that you might be using yourself throughout the month of September is like, we're not interested. Okay. And I'm sure you're a great person and I have fun with you on some levels. And to some degree, there's some degree of warmth and fun and, you know, casualness to this. And maybe even some degree of like love, because pile number 3 is a very heart open person. I mean, you have to be able to divine the divine in the way you're divining, you know? But I feel like it's not bypassing your deepest intuition. And a lot of this is also about like, these types of things help us collapse timelines. This is where it's meant, I believe, in the Bible, where it says, ye will be restored the years that the locusts have eaten. The locusts represent doubts, insecurities, and when we go against our better knowing, our highest knowing. Okay, and so I feel like those times that we said yes and we meant to say no, we wanted to say no, and the times that we said no and we actually wanted to say yes, that kind of thing, you're being restored those. And I feel like in those ways where it's the hardest for us to do so, where like that lower nature just wants to win so much and just like, oh, just let me have it. Not saying sexuality is negative or anything, but just where you guys are at, I feel like you're just ready for that divine union, which is just like, you know, anything else is just like not worth it, you know, take it from me, not worth it. And yeah, I feel like in the ways that it's the hardest to do it, makes it so much easier in all other areas of your life, to where it's like, you're not taking any cups that just don't feel right for whatever reason. We're not waiting around to find out why. And your intuition is actually on your side, and just like how much experience you might already have in this, but I feel like you're a catch all around. You have so much beauty internally, externally. I feel like you are like a magnet for all types of people at all different levels. You know, I feel like people admire you and are inspired by you. And I feel like the month of September, you're just really giving yourself permission to like not beat around the bush and not settling. Okay. And I really feel like there's going to be some sort, I don't think we're rewarded or punished, but I was guided to say, this is almost me like resisting my guides. All right. But divine reward coming in. Okay. A divine reward coming in because of this. It's going to feel like a reward, but really it's just, you know, universal laws at their finest. When you follow the guidance that you're receiving from the deepest level, when you do what's right for you and your path, not necessarily what's easy, you know, especially when there's a lot of passion. It's not always easy to detach from those and to, you know, take a step back. But when we do what's right, miracles happen, right? And that's when we make way. We have just opened up ourselves to a brighter paradigm with greater fulfillment that is not born of the flesh and of things that are so, you know, transient, but that sort of divine fulfillment that never leaves. And that is it reaches farther past just one lifetime, one incarnation. Okay. So this was beautiful. I mean, if this was your reading today, leave a crown. You guys deserve a crown, okay? Leave a crown in the comment section if you don't want to share anything else. And I'm excited to see how you guys grow from this. This is beautiful. Whatever you're doing something right, okay? But such are the beings that are drawn to my channel. Love you guys. Leave a like in the comment section. All these things help my channel grow. And I do hope to see you again soon. Much love.